Hi guys, welcome to the video, and today I wanted to talk about a program I watched yesterday on the BBC, and it was Colin Jackson talking about sport's hidden crisis. And the hidden crisis was eating disorders. Now, he's suffered from it in his career, all the way through his career. He was, if you don't know, he's a great British athlete, 110-meter hurdler, and he's a world champion, Olympic silver medalist, and he actually suffered from this eating disorder called bulimia. And he thought as an athlete he had to be the lightest he could possibly be to actually perform. The lightest anyway, to be very light and skinny. And it obviously set him back, brought about these eating disorders where he went to extremes to make sure that he actually stayed light. Now there's obviously the program came up with other instances and other examples of athletes suffering from these eating disorders, and it was just horrible to see actually the extent that they went to or thought they had to get to that. Now, unfortunately, with programs such as this, they go to an extent to actually how can we fix the problem, but unfortunately, if you don't get to the root cause of the problem, then you're not going to do it. You're not going to fix it. And unfortunately, the root cause is something deeper in our society. When you look at eating disorders are just another example of the deficiencies in sports performance or expectations or the training we do, and the myths that we run by in society that are causing these issues. And we can go into depression as well. We can go to, even on the lower levels, substandard performance. We go to the eating disorders. We go to anything that actually takes us off from how we want to be successful. Everything that actually we aim for success, but we actually get this negative aspect of sport. Now, when we're looking at the eating disorders, I just saw something that was just very painfully clear, and a couple of things actually. The fact is, as a personal trainer, I've been in the game since 2007 as a personal trainer. I've trained a variety of clients, and I've also been able to learn different things about how to lose weight and what's the better way, and also sustain my own body weight and get down to a low body weight myself as an athlete. But I see this common myth of calories in, calories out that's still being peddled in society today, and it's seeped through to sport. And I see this as a horrible thing that still lingers in education in health and fitness at the moment, and still see personal trainers still peddling this rubbish about calories in, calories out. You can't live your life consistently thinking about how many calories am I eating or how much exercise I'm eating, constantly trying to keep yourself on a level playing field all the time. You can't do that. You get into an obsessive nature anyway. So what you got, the calories in, calories out, is telling these athletes, right, don't you dare eat any more than what you're exercising out, otherwise you'll gain weight and you won't be good, or you'll look ugly, or whatever the case is, which is not a good philosophy to go by. The calories in, calories out should have been left in the 80s. It's an old, archaic system. Now it works, but it's not sustainable. And it should not be peddled by personal trainers who should know better in today's society. I still see it in books at the moment of personal training, and still saying this calories in, calories out. It's rubbish. It's nearly never about how much you eat. It's always what you eat. If you eat what you're supposed to eat to your body, that's fine for your body will sense that, use it as fuel, and make you full, so it's very hard to overeat. If you eat what you should be eating, it's very hard to put on weight and be fat and be overweight. That's as simple as that. It's the only that the society has told me we should be eating these foods. Well, no, you shouldn't be eating these foods. You've got to find out from your own body what your body's best at, what kind of food it performs best under, and go and eat those foods, and not to worry about how much of you are eating. If you're an athlete, you should not be considering worrying about eating too much. But this calories in, calories out society is still peddling this myth, which is leading athletes to become obsessive about their weight, obsessive about their diet, and then which leads to things like that, and also other other problems. Now, the other thing as well that comes up from this TV program was fitness obsession. I've said that about it. The fact that you had to be perfect in everything that you do. I think Colin Jackson said you had to be a finely tuned training system he came up at the beginning of the program, which is again that kind of fitness obsession. I've got to train hard. I've got to be perfect for it to do it. And this horrible word perfection should be outlawed in our language because it's a hideous word. What's the point of aiming for something that you can't aim for, that you can't achieve? And you say, well, why don't we aim for perfection? What's the problem with aiming for perfection? No, you'll never achieve it. And once you don't achieve it, there's a negative where you beat yourself up because you have not reached that perfection there. And that actually is a negative thing. If you're beating yourself up, that's a negative thing on the athlete, which can lead to other problems as well. This fitness obsession of having to be perfect, the fitness obsession of being, I have to be fit, I have to do the training, I have to train hard, that training hard rubbish again. It's not about training hard, it's doing the right training, doing it in the right amount and doing it consistently. I've also got the idea that any athlete should be following Pavel Tsatsoulin's work. He talks about Grease the Groove, which is similar to what we're talking about. He talks about his idea about speed endurance and his idea about anti-glycolytic training, anti-lactic acid training. If you're a 400-meter runner, if you're an endurance runner, you should go and look at his work. He's very important because it's getting missed. And it actually thinks about sports performance of practicing your sport, not training hard. He thinks practicing your sport is a skill. Running is a skill. It is a skill. It's not something that we can just pick up and do loads of it. It's a skill. We need to be able to do it properly, and you do that by actually doing it the proper way. But this fitness obsession, we've got to cut back about training hard as the only way to success. It's really, really insidious. So those are the two things that I see, that I saw from the program, that could go some way to fixing their problems of eating disorders, the extreme lengths that athletes feel that they have to go to. And these things are deep in society. These are nothing particularly about sport itself. It's how we live our lives generally. And how we live our lives generally, collectively, is we see these examples of how it manifests itself negatively. Eating disorders, depression, the fitness obsession, but when the athlete finishes their sport, they feel like nothing. Their identity is taken up completely about their sport, their fitness obsession. How fit they are depends on how their identity as a person. And once they give up their sport, they're nothing. They feel like nothing, and that's why you see athletes go into depression afterwards. The real big problems are really deep down in society that we have to correct, and you have to look. We cannot wait for the government to do this, because there's a lot of aspects that actually prevent them from changing this, i.e. money, and politics and things like that. We've got to be individually take responsibility for our own health. So we've got to notice things coming up in our lives so we can actually train better and train more sustainably, be more patient with ourselves. So hopefully that video gives you a better idea. I thought the TV program was brilliant. It was insightful in a way. I like Colin Jackson a lot, but it didn't really hit below the levels that we really need to look at. So hopefully that video was helpful. Please like, please share, please subscribe to the button and hit the notification bell so you get more videos like this. And it just leaves me to say, see you in the next video.